Hey,
Hey, good morning.
good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. How was your weekend?
It was good. Thank you. I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to this holiday that we're about to have. Spend some time with family and friends.
there you go. That's
How was
awesome.
your weekend?
It was good, productive. We did a lot of, catching up work and stuff for the group and also a lot of back testing as well. But we had this Friendsgiving as well, so that was cool. I'm starting to think Friendsgiving is better than Thanksgiving.
Yeah, yeah, indeed.
I feel like it's like funner, if that's even a word.
Oh, you said it's more fun. Yeah,
Yeah, it
absolutely.
just
I agree.
100%. Like I mean, obviously love family and all that stuff, but like I don't know, Friendsgiving is just it's a different feel to it. It's like a party with that family atmosphere kind of a thing. I don't know.
Definitely. I agree with you.
Jody, how you doing, buddy?
Good. What were you just saying? That you don't like having fun? You'd rather just trade and watch charts all day?
Oh yeah. We were talking about the difference between Thanksgiving and Friendsgiving.
Oh,
Hey, what's up, guys? Good morning.
Carlos, what's up, brother?
So what's up?
How you doing?
I'm good, man. Feeling good. How you?
Good, man. All right, let's get into it. Before we do, Jody, you never got the link yesterday?
I got the link, but it wouldn't let me sign in. It would just say waiting on host, like 30
Really?
minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I never got like an alert that you were trying to come in. I
Oh,
normally see them; they like pop up.
yeah, it's probably that I didn't restart my computer and I just put it on sleep all night. I don't know.
You were waiting there for 30 minutes?
That's an exaggeration, but 15,
Oh,
20 minutes.
okay.
But
I just want to make sure.
I was waiting there for a long time.
I apologize for that, buddy.
Oh, that's okay.
Just trying to see something real quick before I start breaking everything down for you. All right, so let's take a look. Wow, we got some positive PMI manufacturing and services coming out of Europe so far and Great Britain over here. So that's why you're seeing a little bit like of a confusion on GJ. We did have flash manufacturing and services PMI coming out. So manufacturing came out better than expected, a whole point over. And then you got flash services PMI coming out lower than the previous, but at the same time, we were the exact same that they forecasted. So that's obviously a positive thing over here. So what we're waiting on for today, the rest of today, is the flash manufacturing PMI and the flash services PMI coming out of the US. So we may get some good volume for that. Maybe some pricing in before that, but they're expecting better than previous, right? We had a rough manufacturing PMI last time, and then they're expecting better than previous over here, where we got better than expected over here, 58.7. Just keep in mind, if you guys really don't know what PMI is, when it comes to the number, as long as it's above 50, that's an expanding economy, right? They're expanding, they're getting better, they're recovering from any kind of downturn that we just had with COVID, right? So if it's below 50, it's a contracting economy. So that's obviously not a good thing. I wanted to point. Oh, this is what I wanted to point out for tomorrow. Um, where's Slack? Here we go. I sent this into the fundamental chat over here. Keep in mind, I've been reading this other places too, also back testing the previous years. And if you take a look, they're saying over here as well, the Wednesday before the holiday has historically given the best returns. So we may see a nice little bullish market tomorrow, and some currencies rising before Thanksgiving. So just keep that in mind for tomorrow. Tomorrow again, we're going to be with Sharma as always on Wednesday. So that'll be a good session. Jody, did you like that back testing session?
You said about the back testing?
Yeah, the one on Sunday.
Oh yeah, man. I like those.
Awesome.
Yeah, like back, since it's like one of my like weak, I guess one of my weak points right now. Yeah, I think that will build a lot of momentum for me personally.
Do you think it's your weak point because you don't do it, or because you feel like you're not good at it yet?
Yeah, I feel like I'm just not good at it yet.
Okay.
So they would just give me like, I guess like little pointers of when I could do it by myself.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. It's you gotta. Do you have the simulator?
No, not yet.
Okay. Tiffany, how are you like in the simulator? T, you with us?
Yeah, I am. Sorry.
No, you good.
It's I'm not that good at using it, to be quite
Okay.
honest. So I actually reverted back to TradingView.
Okay. Is it something that you think I would be able to walk you through, or you just don't like the setup?
Yes, please, if you can.
Oh, okay.
So
All right.
I'm having a hard time just flipping dates and moving to the next time frame and so forth.
Okay. Hold on. Let me just write this down. Help Tiffany with. And then what's it called? Carlos, are you thinking about getting it, or where are you at with it?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm definitely thinking about getting it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm my goal is definitely by the end of next week.
Okay, cool. So end of next week, let's get that, and then we'll hop on a Zoom. I mean, yeah, we'll hop on a Zoom end of next week, and kind of put it together, and I'll show you how it works. I mean, you saw what we were doing yesterday. We were on there for like 2 hours on Sunday. So I'll basically show you how to use it, and what to do, what to expect, stuff like that. And so Carlos getting it.
All right, sounds good.
I mean, Tiffany, once you start to get the hang of it, and then Carlos, once you're really rolling with it, the amount of progress you guys are going to start seeing in your real trading is going to be astronomical. You got to treat it like a real account. It's not just like a back testing account where it's like, oh, I can take this trade here, or it's just a simulator. Let me just try this out, right? Let me just risk 50% of my account on this thing and see how it works out, or let me just take this trade that I normally wouldn't in the market, but I'll do it on this because it's a simulator. Don't build those bad habits. You can build some great habits by treating that like a real account as much as possible, and growing it like a real account. Take it upon yourself to grow that thing like a real trading account, and you're gonna like it. It's gonna grow a lot of confidence in the real market. So I'm looking forward to you guys progressing with it. Jody, you ever think about getting that?
Yeah, I'm gonna get it.
Good.
GJ's getting ready to move right now, isn't it?
GJ, yeah. Let me.
Yeah. I don't mean to change the subject. I'm sorry, but yes, I am gonna.
You're good.
Get it.
I mean, there's honestly no rush right now. I'll point it out right now. We'll do a quick breakdown because we've been doing it the past couple of days, so you guys know where GJ's at. We are holding this support still, right? Nice bullish candle with a wick to possibly fill the next weekly candle. Right now, so far, we are bullish with no bottom wick. It looks like we made this top wick, and we I don't want to say rejected, but we did reject on the lower time frames, but we retraced a little bit over here on the weekly. Looking at the daily over here. What's up, Gary? So over here on the daily, we've been making lower lows, lower highs from 158, right? Coming all the way back down to 152, 400, holding this support over here. We finally break this previous resistance right here with this move. Get my drawing tools out so you can see what I'm talking about. We make this low. We have this resistance right over here, which we ended up breaking with this candle, right? Coming right back up into this key area right here. This right here is a key area. When trend lines meet up with previous resistances, previous supports, that's a key area. So we ended up meeting up with that key area and printing a hard bearish candle coming all the way back down here to create this low. But guess what? Then we had a bullish candle closing right over here, right? Coming up to retest this previous area. So now that candle passed the high of the previous candle, but now it flipped bearish, rejecting this area once more. And if you take a look, printing a lower high over here as well, right? So could we be continuing down? Absolutely, could be continuing down. But at the same time, you got to understand, since price ended up breaking this resistance right over here, and then coming right back into the zone over here with some of these candles, we're now 50-50. Right now, we're kind of printing sideways. We need some volume to push us down or break us up so that we could possibly take something right up here and continue right back up. Right? But right now, there's a lot of indecision. And what did I say in the beginning of the week? What did I say on Sunday? Right? When we did our market breakdown, what did I say? I said that we might be consolidating on GJ for a little bit until the end of the week. There's not much that's really moving it, right? And not much that's really moving it since we started coming down into this area over here, where the Bank of England announced that they weren't going to be increasing interest rates. After that, not even this Sunday, but even way before that, I said that we would be ranging in this whole area over here. Somewhere in here. We came out a little bit, but I figured we'd be ranging anywhere in here until we get some more data coming out of Great Britain so that they can either decide to increase interest rates next month or possibly February like they're talking about. But if they do it next month, you're going to see a nice move right back up. If they announce that they're officially doing it in February, you're going to see us breaking out of that zone and continuing right back down to 150, 149, some of those levels over there that we are definitely familiar with. So looking over here at the 4 hour, again, we're printing these lower highs over here, which is good, right? But again, we're sideways, right? We're printing higher lows. This low over here is higher than over here, and we ended up rejecting, coming right back up into this area. But this area also is that lower high, and we are in this bearish trend right here. So when you're in a trend like this, can you get some of the plays back up? Absolutely. But you're mainly looking for new resistances to form to then continue right back down. Don't try to fight the market. New resistances to form to come right back down to create that low. Right? And then sometimes you could get these little plays coming back up. That's where back testing comes in. We got a bunch of chats in here. What's up, guys? What's up, Gary? How you doing, buddy? Hope you're having a good week so far. Awesome. Love to hear it. So right now, again, and this shows that we're definitely, consolidating 50-50. We're on either side of the two EMAs over here. 200 EMAs were below the 200 EMA were below, and the 50 EMA were above right over here. So there's a lot of indecision in here, right? But we did create this low, and we've been continuing right back up to retest that low, and we get that hard rejection. But right now, we're kind of bouncing off this 50 EMA. Are we going to hold support and kind of consolidate in here? Maybe. Let's look at the 1 hour. So 1 hour, we were in this range over here. We ended up breaking out of it, coming right back up to retest this previous area. Never broke the highs, never made it up to 154,400, right? And again, if you want to visually see this, got these lower highs over here. I just don't like that mess in my chart. So right now, pushing up, retracement a little bit, never passed the low, never made it down to this support over here. It looked like it possibly could have with this bearish candle right here, right? But guess what? No bottom wick. So you always got to keep this in consideration. Always got to pay attention to candles when they close with no wicks. Could go either way. And as you notice, this candle passed the low of that candle right away, right? So when you get a candle with no wick, just keep in mind it's 50-50. It could very well drop. but at the same time, we could pass the low of that candle and retrace and come right back up. So a lot of indecision in here, Jody, right? There's not a clear buy, there's not a clear sell over here. We want levels to break, and that's what we're about to break down. Where's our levels that we could be breaking over here? Okay, so we ended up creating this new low this morning, right? This is all the London market. London market was all bearish, right? Asian market was bullish, coming up all the way into this area, and then London market, we printed new lows over here on the day. So now we're kind of consolidating. We have sellers cashing out, right? Buyers kind of coming in a little bit, but they're not taking over. We're still kind of in this range. We need a possible break and close above this area to maybe take a buy. I'm not eager to trade this over here, but we do have some clean moves over here that we could mirror in this area. So like something, tool. So this whole area right here, you have some clean candles that you could be mirroring. So if we get some volume, it's about to be 7 o'clock. Let's see if the 1 hour candle closes above that area over there. Now looking at the 15-minute, this is cool. The 15-minute actually did close above this area. So could we get the next 15-minute closing like this, like a bearish candle to retest that area? And then we get another 15-minute candle passing the high of that candle or closing bullish and could possibly take this out. But this is one of those times where I'm not eager to take a trade on GJ. Like I'm content just kind of sitting here and watching it to see what we end up getting. We do have this level right here that we got to pay attention to. And that was also a previous support over here. So how much range do we have? Not much up until this point, but I think volume could push us out. This is only the 15-minute time frame. So if you get volume, I think that could push us right out of this to continue right back up. But again, not really eager to take a trade in this. Is anybody else? Is anybody looking at this saying like, you know, this is something I definitely want to be involved in? Especially looking at the 1 hour. Anybody? No one's attracted to this?
Yeah, I mean,
Tiff, you are?
yeah, I
Okay.
was gonna take a short on this.
Okay.
So I'm just waiting for price to go back up, and so I'm looking at price in two areas. So let me see what this level is. I'm looking at price on the 153.745 area. And I'm also looking at price at the 153.986 area. So I'm waiting for price to kind of like fall in between that range.
Okay. So you're looking for a retest up there to then continue right back down.
Yeah, I hope it goes down.
Okay. And then can you send a chart of like where you plan everything going out and where you plan on entering?
Yeah.
All right, awesome.
I'll send it to you.
Do you know how to send it into Zoom? Kind of like what Gary just did right here?
I'm on my cell phone right now. Let me switch to my laptop and then I'll do it.
Okay. Sounds good. Now
I
Gary is already in buys.
I was kind of thinking about going long.
Okay. Yeah, because I do see that rejection off of here. He's got this zone over here that price is reacting to, obviously. So you took this right down here? Correct. Okay. Expecting price to react to this level over here, which I definitely see as well. Hold on. Okay, so looking back at GJ over here, this is good. You guys sending in charts. Let me know what you're thinking. You know, we got one guy in buys, one person looking for sells. So that's where we break everything down. And that just shows the confusion of where price is right now. That multiple people are in buys and sells because we're in a consolidating market. So that does make sense. right? We're in a market right now where there's no decision on the Great Britain pound. You also take a look at the Japanese yen, very weak, right? Taking a look at the yen right now, we're at new lows over here. After breaking below the previous low, we're holding this resistance so far to continue down. So that shows you that the pound could be going up. But at the same time, what's going on in Great Britain? We know what's going on in Japan, right? Very low interest rates, weak economy right now because of COVID, right? So looking over here, and also some of that risk off tone is off the table right now because Biden just announced that Powell was going to be the Fed chair remaining, right? He's got another term ahead of him. So there's some uncertainty out of the market. So now you're going to see some of the safe haven currencies start to take a little hit, right? Same thing with gold, same thing with the Japanese yen. Maybe not the dollar right now because with Powell in, it looks like they're probably going to be tapering or increasing interest rates. That's what they're looking at. And also like we do have good retail sales, stuff like that out for the holidays. So those, some of these things you got to keep in mind. But when it comes to the pound itself, like the standalone pound, there's not much decision going on right now. They're just waiting on data. So you're not going to see any big kind of moves over here. You'll see a nice hard rejection within some of these zones. But again, we're just printing sideways between here. No clear direction. It looked like we had a clear direction after we came down here and we started consolidating, but still printing lower highs over here kind of. And you see that bearish pressure to continue down. But then we broke above that resistance and came right back up here. And now we're printing lower lows or lower highs over here within this range on the 4-hour. But guess what? We come down and create that low. And guess what? We come right back up here. And now we're consolidating. It looks like we got that rejection to form a higher low to then continue right back up. You could get that. But again, there's a lot of indecision over here that you got to be aware of. Now, we'll see where price ends up. Again, we got 2 minutes for the hour to close. So let's see if we close out of this range over here or if we snap right back, kind of like what we did in the previous candles. How many times did we reject this level? 5 times so far, could be a 6th time over here. So just keep that in mind. I want to go over to gold real quick because I am in gold and I want to break that down. Okay, looking at this, again, this is where fundamentals come in play, and it makes it easier for you to take trades and hold on to trades knowing where price is probably going to go. And you have that, I want to say like 80-90% feeling that this trade is going to play out. Like that's where you want to be as a trader, where the trades that you're taking, you're like 80-90% sure they're going to play out. You're not getting overconfident where you're over risking, but at the same time, you've seen these setups many, many times, and that's where that confidence starts to come in. There's got to be, and I don't think any of you guys are like this, but it naturally could happen without you guys even realizing it. But I don't see anybody in here having a strong ego when it comes to their trading. I think everyone is pretty even keeled when it comes to their thought process and all that stuff. So you got to be able to stay confident, but not conceited, not cocky about it, because that's when you start over trading, over risking, thinking you're better than the market or most of the people in it, and that's where the market takes all your money. Right? There's definitely something called overconfidence in the market, and it's just as bad as fearful and not taking trades. So over here, gold, we ended up holding that resistance at 1870, right? Consolidating in here, it started printing lower highs, right? Little bearish pressure, and then boom, what's it called? Powell was announced right over here. Biden announced that Powell was going to be the Fed chair remaining, and we just ended up tanking. Right now, we ended up forming this. We bounced off the 200 EMA over here, and we were starting to approach this level over here. before this new daily candle formed, right over here. So this is where I thought maybe we would stall out once breaking 1830 again. Right, I thought we were going to stall out right over here, but we ended up getting that reaction to it. But at the same time, we created the top wick, past the low of this candle, and then we're coming right back down into this level over here. Looking at the 4 hour, 4 hours, a beautiful setup over here. Get that little retracement, get the bearish candle form. This candle creates its top wick, past the low of that candle over here at 1 a.m. This is a beautiful move for London, Gary, and Stipe. What's up, Stipe?
What's up?
What's up, boys? How are you?
Awesome, awesome. You?
Good, man.
Great.
So beautiful. Like this is the ideal setup right over here, right? On any pair, especially on like the 30-minute. But if you get this on the 4 hour, beautiful, right? So now it looks like we are pushing right back down for this area right over here, previous support. I don't see us kind of like stopping right here. I think we're going to continue right back down, but you never know, right? We could get a reaction to this area. Looking at the 1 hour over here, 1 hour candle closed bearish over here, and now we're starting to retrace to form our top wick on the new 1 hour to possibly continue down. Looking at the 30-minute. So the 30-minute, I ended up entering after this candle close. Where did I put my stop loss? I actually gave myself a wider stop loss over here. And my TP is right down here, about 52 pips below, anticipating price to continue down. Could I be selling at the low down here? Possibly. But I like this formation right here. I point this one out all the time where we create this this bottom wick. Right, we create a range, and then we come up, we close a weak bullish candle. The next one closes or passes the low of that candle right here. Close a nice engulfing bearish candle with a wick to fill. So now I believe that we're going to be continuing right back down to fill this wick and continue right back down. Again, I have a wider stop loss, and that's something that we went over yesterday, didn't we? Where we took that loss on gold. But we were completely right about everything about the trade other than the timing. The timing, price wanted to come right back up and grab liquidity one more time before dropping. Where we obviously managed risk. It was a well thought out trade and well managed. But at the same time, our stop loss was a little too tight on gold. So this is where I got that tighter stop loss or wider stop loss. I can manage risk a little bit better. And I don't have to really worry about being in the trade too much. Right now is where you could possibly close 50 because right here, we're passing the high of that 30-minute candle. And that's something that you got to keep aware of. We could very well be rejecting this area right here. Yep. Didn't mean to do that. Let's see if we end up rejecting this area right here. But just keep in mind, like if you're in a trade, it's not the end all be all. You got to manage risk. And the more you can just manage risk and cut your losses short, the better you're going to be. The healthier your account's going to be, all that good stuff. So just keep in mind, if price does one thing where it passes the previous candle in the opposite direction, you're closing 50, especially on the 30-minute. If this was the 15-minute, maybe you could hold off a little bit. But the fact that it's the 30-minute, I still think we're bearish. But at the same time, you got to stick to your rules. So that's the trade I'm in right now. I do think that we're going to continue right back down, but we'll see. Carlos, switching over to your laptop. Cool. Let's go back to GJ over here. So GJ ended up rejecting this area once more. That's the 6th rejection over here on the 30-minute. All right, so what is that, 3 hours? 3 hours of rejection of this level, 153,600, psychological level as well. Now, what I could see is it's getting some 7 o'clock volume where this candle comes down, creates a bottom wick, and then passes the high of that candle with some volume continuing up. But again, when you reject that many times on a 30-minute, there's no impulse entries. You got to wait for candles to close above that level and clear out that level. This is a consolidation. Wait for candles to clear. When you get something like this, like a very clear out, knowing that price is exiting that area, and now we could continue right back up. But this should be a our favorite no trade range right in here. You're just waiting for that clear. Does that make sense, Tiff?
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
Of course. So yeah, you just want to stay out of there. Could you take a sell up here to retest this low? Maybe. Depends on the setup. Where we could be consolidating here. We close above this area, right?
Mhm.
Reacting to this area. We form a resistance. And then guess what? We close right back into this range. That to me would be a fake out where sometimes you could execute in this range over here to take a sell to continue right back down. Knowing that when you get a fake out like that, there's a high probability that price is going to retest that support. There's also a good probability that price is going to break through. It's just a little bit lower than you actually retesting this low. Like you need some more volume to push you through that, but it happens a lot with fake outs. Just keep
Okay,
in mind
thank
that the Japanese yen is pretty weak right now. So I think between the indecision of the pound and then you have a weak Japanese yen, I think we're going to be seeing some consolidation over here. Miles, what's up, buddy?
Not too much, man. What's going on?
Nothing much. How you doing?
Good.
Did you have
Just getting up.
you have a good day yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday was pretty good. I actually worked like 11:30 to 5, and then I came home and was supposed to have a meeting, but that got canceled. And then I did actually my first hour back testing yesterday from 5:30 to 6:30, which was
Beautiful.
pretty good. I enjoyed it too, to be honest. It didn't really feel like a big thing because I don't know. I guess I'm just starting to enjoy it a bit more. But yeah, that was good. That was the first time that I just did it on the trading view because I have the one where you can go back and do the bar replay. So
Yep.
yeah, I know that worked out pretty well. I did some back testing for GJ from like last year, or same month, like November of last year. So I'm sure I'll get faster with it. Right now, I'm still like taking my time because I want to obviously take advantage of the back testing session just to be able to kind of slow things down and see how I would see it where I can make some adjustments and stuff like that. But yeah, and then I added like a column to my Trello just to start so I can start documenting my back testing
Good
and
job.
seeing what works and not. So yeah, I know that was probably my highlight of the day. It was my first hour back testing.
There you go, man. Yeah, that's I'm glad to hear you say that because a lot of people I've heard like just don't like the back test. They kind of gotta force themselves to do that. To me, that makes me question like if they truly love to trade, like they enjoy trading. I get not wanting to back test all the time. Like I'm like that, right? It's not every day. I can't wait to back test. And a lot of times I don't have the time to, unfortunately, but I do love it. I would say 90% of the time. It's fun. You're learning more about yourself every single day. You're learning more about your pair every single day. You're recording things, you're catching things, you're writing things down. Like, this happens when this happens. That's intriguing to me. You're constantly getting better. And that's what backtesting is all about. It's your practice. So I'm glad to hear you that you enjoy it. I think you'll enjoy it even more in the back tester, like the simulator, where you're actually managing an account.
Right. Yeah, I know that looks like it's an additional level of just like realism for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, Gary, that's the same thing for me. Running all these businesses, it's there's it really comes down to finding the time to do it, unfortunately. And that's what kills me is not being able to have the time to do it as much as I want. But as you go through your career, um, you can get a I don't want to say get away. I don't think that's the right way to say it, but you don't need to be back testing 1 hour every single day, right? After you get to a certain point, it could be like 1 hour every 2 days, or like
Right.
really like 2 hours on the weekend, something like that, where you use the simulator just to freshen up, keep your eyes trained, you're good, and then you move on. That's really when you really start to get to know your pair pretty well. You don't have to back test it every single day, but what you want to do in the beginning is train your eyes and really get to know that pair early on.
Sure.
Mine's not businesses; it's too many kids. Yeah, yeah, man, you get your hands full over there. So looks like we're rejecting again. It looked like the 15-minute could have been coming back into this range to then continue right back up, but we'll see what we get over here. But I do like how we have, some of these this low right here. This low is higher than this one over here. And plus we got this close right up here, right above this area over here. So it looks like we have some bullish pressure because of the weak Japanese yen, I believe. But again, we're still putting sideways. Big wicks. Just keeping an eye on this gold trade over here. Closing at the 50. It's this one is very well managed. I was how many pips was I in profit over here? I was about 14 pips in profit. I kept a wider stop loss so that there was some room to breathe. Miles, I was actually mentioning yesterday's trade how our stop loss was a little too tight, and it was just bad timing, right? Like we had the correct trade, we knew where gold was going, but we were just off on the timing. That'll happen from time to time, but that's where you write in your AAR what happened yesterday, what you could have been doing better. And for me, I wrote that I could have used a little bit wider of a stop loss, right? I could have also been a little bit more patient. So taking that into today, not making the same mistake twice, which is, I think, your number one job as a trader, because there's things that you can control, and there's many that you can't in the markets. And one of them is making the same mistakes twice. And as long as you can, there's going to be many mistakes, and as long as you can curb those, as long as you can limit those as much as possible, you're going to be in a good spot as a trader in your career. But if you keep making the same mistakes over and over and over and over again, you're going to keep losing. You're going to keep going in circles. And eventually, unfortunately, most people quit. That's not going to be any of you guys. So right over here, I was like 14 pips in profit. That's okay. Came right back to entry. What I could have done is close 50 right over here, but I gave it some time because I thought we were going to be reacting to this level over here. What we did was close 50 as price passed the high of that candle, and then 50 somewhere up here as well. You got the bullish close on the 15-minute over here on GJ. Actually label these so everyone knows what we're looking at. Yeah, so this trade obviously is technical, but at the same time, all like a lot of that is fundamental as well. If you look at the 15-minute, the other reason why I closed 50 up here again was because I was looking at the 15-minute on my MetaTrader, and we're holding this support right here. Right, so we reacted to this level. We ended up retesting this low over here, and now we reacted to it. I still think we're going to continue down, but we'll see. We shall see. T, you still thinking about GJ over here? No? Anybody thinking about GJ? I know Gary's in buys right now.
I'm thinking about it. I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens here.
Okay. Now, even if you're thinking about it, does it still look unappealing to you? Like you starting to feel like, okay, maybe we're not going to get a move anywhere in this range. Maybe we need to wait for price to break out of it.
Yeah, I think so.
That makes sense to you guys? Cool.
Mhm.
That's where you want to be.
Of course, my chart looks a little different than yours, but yeah.
You send it over. Let's see what you're thinking, and we'll go through your thought process. That's how we get better.
For me, I think for GJ, if I just based on what I've seen now, I feel like I want to see like a 30-minute close above the current resistance, and then just see if that, even then, like the range is looking pretty tight there. So I'm not too sure to play on there yet for me. I don't have too much confidence in the 15-minute yet. Just obviously I know the 30 minutes just a lot stronger. The 15 is like kind of hit or miss for me sometimes, but to be fair, before I wasn't really going for just the 10 pips, so that obviously could, you know, reduce some of the risk there because you're just trying to get in and out quicker. But you know, there's a lot of rejections there on the
there's
at that 153 like 600-ish level. So.
Yeah, you got that psychological level. We were just pointing out that you have multiple rejections. You got about 6 hours of rejections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or 3 hours of rejections, right? 6 30-minute candles over here, rejecting multiple times. Now we'll see what we end up getting, but you got a lot of wicks here and small bodies, especially with this candle, this candle, this candle. A lot of indecision. And again, the Japanese yen is weak. A lot of indecision with the pound and what's going to end up happening. You guys remember me last week saying that we were going to be ranging in here, right? This is a 4-hour range of indecision, not knowing where price is going to go. A lot of breaking of resistances over here and then coming back into the range and then exiting the range again and entering this range again and then coming right back down into this range again. So like this is what I'm talking about when it comes to indecision, being content, being out of the market, right? There, if you see a setup, you're lowering your risk a little bit. But anything in this isn't too good to trade. This would have been a great move to take, right? Because we're bouncing off the resistance over here. You know we're going to get some sort of reaction, but also you get that bearish trend. So you got a key area right here. So you get some volume coming in around 1 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's London, pre-London over here, reacting to a level. Get that nice little push coming right back down to the support. So taking a look at this on the lower time frames would have been something that you could have studied, broken down, and said, okay, maybe What's going on with my trading view? There we go. So price bouncing off this trend line over here. Also previous support right here. So once price was pushing up, forget all this stuff happened over here. All right. Price is pushing up over here, higher highs, higher lows, coming right back up into this area. And now we're starting to approach the this resistance up here, which typically I would have had this right over here, but knowing that we were going to get some sort of reaction anywhere in here. Where is it? No, this is a miles kind of a zone over here. So you know that you could get some sort of reaction anywhere in this green zone over here, right? Because you got that previous support resistance over here as well, price reacting to that level as well. So you know you may get some reaction here instead of fully touching this resistance up here. It may struggle to get up there. So what do you have? Oh, you got one bearish candle forming. Oh wow, look at that. So we're breaking support over here. It's like at the 30-minute over here. Get a nice bearish formation, right? Clean candles to the left. Could we be coming down to retest this level over here? Right? Could we be coming right back down, reacting to this level up here? Now, looking at the 15-minute, price is starting to react over here. There you go. So price is making these lower highs, lower lows. You could have possibly taken something like right here with your stop loss above this area to continue right back down. But you get that volume coming in, and then all of a sudden prices pushes. Look at that. Lower lows, lower highs, never breaks the previous high, always makes a lower low. Look at these wicks, look at these candles. Just trying to find like a clear entry over here. I think maybe after this rejection over here, and then price starts flips bearish, starts pushing down. Especially after this bearish, you get this kind of consolidation over here, but we are making lower highs. But you get this support, multiple rejections, and then you get this liquidity grab, and then the 5-minute candle closes below support over here. So you could put your stop loss somewhere up here, knowing that price could be continuing right back down, or at least coming back down to this previous resistance and mirror this candle. So that's how you see like how you could have caught previous moves. But I think that was a good move to take in this range over here. But other than that, it gets a little tricky. Right now we're ranging over here. Jaden, what's up, brother?
What's up, bro?
How are you?
I got 30 minutes to make 4K.
Oh, the challenge.
Yeah.
So what happened with it?
So
40 minutes to make 4K.
I placed a sell on Now's 100. I was just trying to scalp it because I knew I had limited time, and I freaking found the trade that was gonna win it, and I don't know what happened. I twin traded it. One position stayed open, the other didn't. I'm positive it wasn't a margin call. So it must have been like a random spread, just like, spread went crazy for a sec, tapped me out or something.
Mm-hmm. I was laughing because I was reading all your messages at the same time, not like as they were coming in. So like I read your first message, and then the second one immediately after that is I changed my mind. All right, so we gold over here. 30 minutes about to close. And I already closed 50 twice. I'll just close the full thing there. There you go. Very well managed. Again, like I said, we were 15 pips in profit over here. Enter this. Forget this happened. Enter this after, like, this is my setup over here. Most of the time this plays out, especially with a wider stop loss. Most of the time I put my stop loss above this candle, especially if it's GJ. But with gold, I made it a little bit wider so that, you know, there's room to breathe. But we ended up pushing down past the low of that candle. Looked like we were going to fill this wick and come right back down into our zone that we've been waiting for. But it looks like we're reacting to this level over here. So right now, price came back to my entry. And past the high of the previous 30-minute candle, I closed 50 right here, and then closed the full thing right there. Carlos sent the chart. Awesome, man. No trade range. Beautiful. Buys above. Yep. Okay. I like that. Let's go back to GJ over here. And apply that to the chart. Now, see, I wanted to say, if we close above this area on the 5-minute, I wouldn't be taking any trades, like breakout trades on the 5-minute where the 5-minute closes above. If you get that close above where you create that high, price comes down, closes bullish and creates like a support right over here, maybe. But at the same time, you want to wait for like a 15-minute candle to close above this range, a 30-minute candle to close above this range. And even better is one of those candles that just completely exit this whole range and close up here. But so you have your area right over here, Carlos. I believe. Yeah, you have your support right over there.
Yeah.
Again, a lot of indecision over here. Sound like a broken record, but you know, there's what's up?
It's really choppy to the left.
It is. I mean, pre-New York has been choppy, but you know, since 6 o'clock, we've been pretty bullish over here, coming right back up here, but we keep rejecting. You already rejected once. Right? These candles refuse to stay above that level. Could we be getting something if we close above this level? Possibly. Just gotta sit back and wait. Unfortunately, trading is mostly boring, right? We're mostly just sitting here waiting. And there's a lot of times where the market doesn't present anything, and you got to be okay not taking anything. Now, if it's your setup and you completely, you know, miss it, or, you know, you're waiting for one more confirmation, you have no idea what that confirmation is, you just think you need to see one more thing, you're never going to get it, and you end up missing that trade. You can't be doing that. That'll hurt you as well. You'll be missing, like with me yesterday, I missed, what did I journaled the, I haven't done the description yet, but I journaled potential, that whole gold trade yesterday. Look how many pips we missed out on. Why is this taking forever? That's weird. 428 pips right here on gold from the Powell News. And take a look at how I journaled this. Like I said, I still got to do the description. I'll put it into the group Trello when I'm done. But I was in the middle of journaling my trade from yesterday, the gold trade, and I ended up just journaling, you know, what I could have taken, the trade that would have worked out. So we ended up retracing from 1870, that level that we've been talking about. So I get a picture of the weekly. Now the daily setup. Okay, clean move to mirror over here, price breaking below support. Now we had this mini support right over here that we needed to clear out of, right? We broke this one, the main one on the higher time frames, but on the 4-hour, we had a previous support that price is now reacting to. We rejected right over here, but now we get that nice bearish candle closing, not below the level, but it was closing. but you do have a clean move to mirror right over here. This is what the 1 hour looked like. Coming up to retest, these candles are getting weaker. So we ended up creating a low during Asian, retracing, and then creating a low during London, and then retracing over here. So are we going to get a new low for New York coming right back down here? Possibly. GJ flipped. Okay, let's go back to GJ. There you go. We ended up retesting that area, rejecting even once more. So this candle has no bottom wick over here. It's a little indecision. I have seen prices drop from here, but we need volume. 7:30, we start getting some of that volume over here. Now, the one thing, you're seeing an opportunity. One thing you want to look for is where would your stop loss be if you're taking any kind of sell. The second one would be how many pips are in this range that I could be taking. Only 12, 13 pips right here. And we aim for 10 pips for a reasonable trade, for a trade that, we think is worth taking. At least 10 pips that we want to get. And if you're of a 13 pip range for you to take something, just wait for price to break out of it. I think the number one thing that kills people in this market is impatience. You're not willing to wait for candles to close, candles to flip, candles to exit ranges, all that stuff. The quicker you realize that, unfortunately, trading is boring. There's more waiting around than there is action. That's just the way it is. But it's not so boring when you're making good money and you're doing other fun things with it. This just needs to be intriguing. Maybe not fun, but there needs to be a passion. There needs to be an intrigue there that draws you to the market. It makes you want to get better on a daily basis, constantly be improving. Did I see Chris come in here? Chris, my man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's up?
How you doing, brother?
Good, bro.
You're breaking up.
Doing good, but I'm on the train.
Yeah, I figured. That's all good. So we're actually getting, I guess I did sell the low over here on gold, but that's okay because that's my setup and I managed it well because the next trade I take that's a winner is going to easily make up for any kind of losses that I take when I'm managing my risk. But I barely lost anything on this trade compared to what I could have. Yeah, this, Chris, you saw me breaking this down over here. So let's break down how we could have taken this trade, right? This is how we get better. So again, 30 minute, yeah, no FOMO. There you go. 30 minute. And speaking of FOMO, guys, go watch Chris's podcast over here. This is a good one too. But when we had Chris on a few weeks ago, we just released it. We just put it on YouTube. I highly recommend checking this out and seeing, what goes on through Chris's head when it comes to gold, how he's been able to see success, what he attributes that to, all that stuff is all in here. So a lot of little nuggets that you guys could take note of. I think it's personally really good not to be listening to I think it's great to be doing that, but listening to people that are really just starting to turn the corner. Like, what are they starting to realize? Again, it's best to listen to the people that have really done it and have done great in this market. But at the same time, what you want to do is also listen to people that are close to your level of trading, but now they're starting to turn the corner. Now they're getting profitable. Those are the people that are going to tell you what you need to hear. Those are the people that are going to tell you, listen, I really didn't want to be managing risk or wasn't that good at managing risk because I wasn't listening to myself, but now I am, and now I'm seeing profits. And all my losses are a lot smaller. That's what you're going to be hearing from them. You're going to be hearing next level things from people that are much better than you and on a whole different level. But the people that are close to your expertise in the market are going to be telling you stuff like that. And those are the things that you want to hear because that'll reaffirm the things you need to know, but maybe you don't want to be hearing right now. I know how it is. I know there's things that you're looking for answers for things that you already know the answer to. You just don't want to do them. You naturally, as humans, we want to work away from the uncomfort. We want to work away from the things that make us feel uncomfortable, which is discipline, listening to yourself, doing the things you don't feel like doing, but you do them anyway because you know you need to do them. So check that out. But over here, looking over here at gold, we were consolidating in here, but we got that bearish pressure, right? And this is, we create that London low. I guess I didn't put the time for this screenshot over here. But right now we're in this consolidation. This candle's flipping bearish, and this is kind of similar to GJ right now. Right, we're kind of in this range. You get this candle closing bearish in this range, kind of bearish over here after this London move over here. Now we're consolidating. Now we rejected this area again, closed a strong bearish candle just with no bottom wick, right? Taking a look at gold over here again, kind of similar a little bit. Not always going to look the same, but this candle's flipping bearish and continuing down. So I'm just taking a screenshot of all these different time frames to see what price is looking like and how it's reacting to levels like these. This is how you journal. So taking a trade like this, I was just trying to find the best possible entry. This is the 15-minute. 15-minute rejected this level again. We're in this bearish pressure. The next 15-minute created this top wick, never passed the high, passed the low of that candle, which is where you could have entered. So what I wrote right here was I entered this, but I was a little bit worried about this level right here, right? Probably could have waited for price to close below that level, but you probably wouldn't have gotten this trade. So worried a little about this area. Should I wait for price to close below? Kind of, you're always talking to yourself. And then guess what? We just kind of pushed through. So what I would have done was I would have entered two positions right here. Dynamic risk, right? Both of the same stop loss. Sometimes that second position could be a wider stop loss for like a swing. But with this trade over here, you're in the middle of a range. You don't need a wider stop loss because if price came up here, that trade's going to be invalid anyway, right? We're going to be holding this support and going to start to come up this way a little bit, or there's a high probability anyway. But with this, you enter two positions, one with the same stop loss, and one of them, once you reach that 1-to-1, you could secure 80%. The next one, either you secure 80% as well, and you leave your stop loss in its original spot, or that second trade, you can just let that thing run and not secure a 1-to-1, leave the stop loss in its original spot and just let it go. That's how you maximize some of these moves. You leave like one more position for like a swing entry or one that you're not going to be so conservative on. But at least you're making something on this with the first position that you're securing 80% of the first position at 17.4 pips / 1-to-1. Stop loss at break even for that one. Now, what I was saying was should have entered another position using dynamic risk. So that's what I was writing there, and that's what I added so that you guys could see it. So the first one, as you see, stop loss went to break even. I secured. The next one is still running with the original stop loss to give it some room to breathe. Boom. Price ends up reaching our TP, which was this wick over here, right? And I would have secured 80% of both of them at 47.6 pips, which was the original take profit. Stop loss at break even for both. So one of them I already secured up here and down here. The second one I didn't secure until 47 pips. See why you enter two positions there in some instances? And then guess what? That's another 400 right there. That if you just walked away from your position, obviously you get the fundamentals kicking in. Powell gets reappointed, and we just drop. You would have grabbed a good, decent profit on this. So this is why you always journal the trades that you could have taken. The more you see this, the more you're going to start executing on it. And the more you start executing on it, the more comfortable and confident you're going to start getting with it. Let's go back to our charts over here. Again, still in that range. There comes a point where you guys start getting like very confident in what you think is going to happen. I'm never 100%. Nobody's ever 100%. I'm never knowing, like, I know exactly what's going to happen with GJ. You'll never hear me say that, but I'll know there's a good opportunity, or there's not a good opportunity, but there's a good chance that price is going to do what I think it's going to do. And if not, I have that secondary bias where price could do this, and I have that backup plan. Always. Yes, I can. All right. What's up? What's up, Gary? You see something? Yeah, you know what? Was I lucky at this on GJ? I was looking at this on something. I forget what it was. Yeah, it could be a possible long. You just want to wait for price to close above this level.
I'm just looking at gold here, looking at the 15, and I'm thinking if what I see right now on the 15 was happening on the 30, it could be a possibility for oh, I'm also on Atlanta, so I guess mine's a little bit different. Actually, no, the same. Yeah, so if I see right now happening on the 15, if that was on the 30, I feel like that may be something that I might entertain if the low of the 15 broke, and then just to retest the bottom of that possible range over there. But because it's on the 15, I'm just not gonna touch it.
Yeah, you're saying that if this setup was on the 30-minute, you would have liked that?
Yeah.
I'm looking at this over here, and this is why it's good that you're bringing that to my attention so we could break this down. Very bearish. Oh, I don't like the green. Very bearish price action over here, right? We're creating this resistance over here after a strong bullish candle close, but with no top wick. And we passed the high of it right away and ended up closing bearish, right? This candle never passed the high and is now passing the low of that candle. But before we got to this point, we ended up reacting to this level right here and creating an even low where we create that double bottom over here. We could very well push through it, but you just got to make sure one of those things on the checklist, which we haven't gone over yet, Miles. We haven't done that second Zoom yet. But there's a checklist I'm going to put together for you before you take a trade of, all the things to look for. One of them is the range, right? So you had about 19 pips right over there, and your stop loss could have been 16 pips to 22 pips right over there. Is that worth taking? It could be in your book. In mine, maybe I would wait for price to close below this area, right? I did like this setup over here on the 30-minute because this range was from here, 17 pips, all the way down to 27. But realistically, we could be coming down 50 pips right over here because we could have easily filled this wick and then continue right back down. But a lot of times in pre-New York, as you guys saw yesterday, especially Miles, right? Pre-New York, you get that one last liquidity grab before continuing right back down during New York. 7:45 to 8 o'clock, some nice volume in that point. But then from 8 o'clock to 9, or specifically 8:15 to 8:30, 8:30 to 8:45, some of these little volume pockets you want to take advantage of. But again, Miles, you just want to make sure that you understand you do have this support right over here. The price should probably break through before we take anything.
Gotcha.
But I do agree, though. If this was the 30-minute, you could have entered after this candle closed. Printing that lower high to continue down and retest this low. But on the 15-minute, it gets a little sticky.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying for sure. It was just, I guess, yeah, a wider range definitely would have been more ideal, but just from how the candles were forming, I guess, and that's another part of it is just getting to the point where it's like, I know that not know, but I feel like it could be a decent move, but like passing on those opportunities for an even higher probability move. But just from that, how the 15 minute chart looks, it looked like it was pretty clear that if it did break that low, then again, if it was on the 30, then it should come down to retest the bottom of that area.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of an analogy of like why it's so good to sit there and just wait for it, you know, and you're just like kind of like a lion sitting in a bush waiting for, you know, opportunity just passing yourself. I mean, there's been like all those motivational videos, all that shit, showing that. But if you guys just be selective on your setups, like Stipe, we were talking about this the other day. Stipe still in here? Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you just stay patient and wait for your setups, the ones that we put in your trading plans, right? And eventually you can start adding to that. But first, you want to master your first ones first. Really get to know those setups and train your eyes to see it. Break and retest. That could be your first one, right? If you just stay selective with those, you can take 2 trades a week and be very profitable, right? While the other person, let's say somebody else you're trading with, is taking 10 trades a week on some trades that he's really questionable about, and you could end up with 2 trades making more money than he did because he's either break even or not making as much because he's making up for some losses. So what would you rather have? Would you rather have the action, or would you rather have the money and hold the money and stay with the money and bank that money, withdraw that money, and then go do fun shit with that? The fun shit does not have to be in the market, right? People go to work, and a lot of times they don't enjoy their job, but a lot of times they do. But it's not about like fun being at work. It's about getting your job done. Is it entertaining because you have a passion for it? Absolutely. But the fun stuff is on the weekend when you're no longer at work, when you clock out, and you can use the profits that you made from your hard work on your fun or to reinvest in other things. Yeah, we're reacting to this, Miles.
Yeah, which, yeah, no, 100%. Like, if I were to even entertain that, like, it wouldn't be, I wouldn't have any expectation at all of holding. That would be one of the ones where if it were to be executed, the only way I feel like it could make sense is if you close 100% of it early.
Yep.
Yeah, 3rd rejection at that same area now.
Yep.
Actually 4th, because it was one in London session too.
Yeah, I mean, multiple. You got multiple rejections.
It respected the trend line 1 minute perfectly, just like yesterday. If you switch to 1 minute and draw a trend line on the roll
From here?
Yeah, perfectly.
Sure. You kind of see that buyer pressure.
Yeah.
Over here.
Buy at that trend line would be now at around 25 pips. It would be a nice trade.
Just want to teach you guys kind of how to read price action on the 1 minute, where we've been in this bearish trend over here, lower lows, lower highs, coming all the way down to create this new low over here. Then we retrace and continue right back down and retest that low. But guess what? We keep failing to break below that low. We failed right here again, and we failed right here again, right? So now we're kind of consolidating. But do we keep consolidating here and then eventually start to, right? We're in here, and then we start to see some buyer pressure, right? Kind of like what we're seeing right over here. And then we start to break out of this area. And then we continue right back up. Now on the 15-minute, like that could look very cluttered over here. And you wait for the 15-minute to close above, but at the same time, this is how you read basic price action on the 1 minute, because you have 60 seconds of data in each of these candles. So is it valuable? Yeah. Do you trade on it? save that for another time. I was actually Stipe and I, we were talking about this the other day. Like, what you can do is look at this as like the next level. Like down the road, you'll be able to trade on this, right? Especially if like you're trying to trade on the 1 minute right now, and you're just not seeing too much success. Think about it this way: you can go to the higher time frames and start getting some solid wins with the 30-minute, the 1 hour, the 15-minute maybe. But some of these higher time frames, you'll start to build your confidence. Then all of a sudden, you'll find yourself profitable because you're listening to yourself. You're taking high probability trades. You're managing risk, all that stuff. And you're telling yourself, okay, once I get to that point where I'm confident in my trading and I'm doing well on these higher time frames, maybe I could start to learn these lower time frames and really start to trade down there. But guess what? At that point, you're going to realize that you're not even attracted to these time frames. You don't even need them. If you stay disciplined, you know that you could get plenty of moves on the 30-minute as opposed to the 1 minute. The 30-minute is a lot stronger. But there's plenty of opportunity on those higher time frames, stronger opportunities that you could be taking. And like I said, once you get to that level where you're profitable and you're trading on those higher time frames, this is going to seem unattractive to you because you already have that system in place with the higher time frames, and it's much stronger anyway. Is there less action? Absolutely. But that's something that you got to live with. I got to take a quick restroom break. I will be right back. Anybody have any questions?
No, sir.
No, no.
Shit. Still in this range over here on GJ. Messy. All right. Could we be giving gold another shot? There we go. How's everyone doing?
Good.
Awesome.
Yo, pretty good.
Tiffany, you with me? Tiff? Maybe she's busy. So let's see. Again, our next target could be this support right over here, which is 1790.56. So how much space do we have to that area? At 30 pips. Whatever here. It's just, to me, it's so overextended. But there should be
I heard
nothing
your
like.
voice.
What was that, Tiff?
I said I thought I heard your voice.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Now I wanted to ask you, do you see why I was saying GJ was unattractive now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that's gonna start to catch on with you too, right? The more we trade together, the more you start to hear me out and my analysis and what I'm thinking. It's gonna start to kind of rub off where it's like, okay, maybe it's not worth trading in this. Maybe it's worth living to fight another day and just waiting on a better setup. Because like I said, and this started with last week. This wasn't yesterday. This wasn't the day before. This was last week. I was saying that we would be ranging in here on GJ once we reach these lows. Because nothing's happening. And that's why fundamentals are so important. There's nothing going on with the pound right now that's going to be sending it into a frenzy. I keep looking at gold over here. See that the 1 hour is about to close in 1 minute, and it looks like we'll be getting that close below this area. So if we get a nice support or a little retest over here, top wick formed, and the next one passing the low, I may give this one more chance. Chris, you looking at this? Oh, I think Chris had to go to school. Okay. Anybody else looking at gold? Anyone trade gold? Stipe, you're sticking with GJ right now.
I'm out of this.
Okay.
I'm looking at it, but I'm just not sure. I'm just gonna wait and see because I'm not sure if there's a place for me to actually get an entry on.
Yep. Listen, when in doubt, just wait. If you're not comfortable, if you don't see what you want to see, just wait. If you think you're missing this right now, that's okay. Guess what? The way you look at that is we're creating a new low down here. We're creating a range that we can now retest and get a better price at. We could get a discount on this sale. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
It's actually the opposite of a discount, but it's a discount on our sell as far as our profits, if that makes sense. See, typically, like if we were in a bullish trend and we were looking for buys and price comes down to retrace, that's a discount. You're getting a better price. You're buying that product. You're buying that currency at a better price than you would up here. So now it's the same thing, just opposite. It's inverted. So we're creating that low over here, and we could very well come up and create that rejection wick up here and then continue right back down. It's a nice, strong, bearish candle at 8 o'clock. Now, remember, Miles, we took our trade yesterday at 8 o'clock, and guess what happened? What happened yesterday?
We didn't give it enough time to really make it pop. Like that's one of the things I wrote yesterday. Is like, yeah, we probably should have waited more than at least a minute to see what happened.
Well, that's what I was going to say. 8 o'clock, we did the same exact thing. We printed a nice bearish candle, and we created that top wick right away. And in the first minute, we ended up passing that wick. Now, right now, it looks a little bit more successful, but typically when this happens, most of the time, like what we saw yesterday, that doesn't work out when we pass the low right away. But I think it's working out right now because this is such a strong bearish candle that we just wanted to tap this area. So once we tap this area, I think we're going to get some reaction to it. But also, like, to be honest with you guys, fully transparent, like I do still feel a little rust on gold because, as you guys know, most of you guys know that I haven't traded gold in a couple of weeks, right? And whenever you take a couple of weeks off of a pair or off of a from trading it as a whole, it kind of takes a week to get your rhythm back with it, right? It takes a week to actually, if you they actually confirm that in this. This video I sent you guys yesterday. Someone reacted to it. Stipe. Stipe, you watch this?
Those two guys, yeah.
All right, cool. So they were confirming that, when you take a break off, because these traders are talking about how, like, they'll be trading for a couple of months and then they take a couple of months off. But they're in a position where they can do that, where they reach their full profit target for the percentage target for the year in the first 2 months of the year. That's where you guys want to get, and you could take the rest of the year off if you want. To me, that really doesn't make sense, but like I would still be trading just because that's it's a passion of mine. I couldn't see myself taking months at a time off, right? Like we're gonna be taking our break, our Christmas break until like January 6th, and that's gonna feel weird. Every year we did that with Raquel. It felt weird not trading. Felt weird not waking up and getting after it and looking at the markets and stuff like that. But there's absolutely no volume at that time. So you shouldn't be trading during that time. We'll still be talking. We'll still be working out. We'll still be pushing each other, but there won't be any live sessions because you shouldn't be trading during that time. Give yourself a break. Let yourself decompose. A lot of big investors, bankers, they do the same thing. They go on their Christmas break with their families and enjoy it. This is your one time a year that you get to do that. Unless you guys take vacation and stuff like that, which I get. But that Christmas break is that nice break away from the markets, refresh. What I do, I always backtest during that time. I'm always, researching, reading new books, stuff like that. Just because you're not in the market actually trading your live money doesn't mean you can't be trading and being involved with the market, being in tune with the market. You could be watching it, stuff like that, but with me, I use that time to back test. I use that time at my advantage. This year, it's actually going to be nice. Is it time to study? Yep, absolutely, Gary. This year is actually going to be nice because we started the group January 28th of this year. So we really didn't have that yet. And I didn't have that. Like as a mentor, like there's a lot that I'm doing in the background or like talking to you guys, stuff like that. And that's also going to be a good time for us to catch up, hop on a Zoom individually and go over some of the things that you're going to get ready for your year coming up. But it's going to be a good time for me to, I'll still probably be waking up early and just getting work done in that time. So I'll have that nice 3 hours that I'm normally live streaming. I'll have that time to use wisely on something else, looking at articles, researching different things on economics, because that's something I'm very interested in, learning more about economics, world economics, global economics. So that's where I can get that time in that normally. And like I said, like as much as I would love to backtest, my time is very crunched during the week. So it's harder for me to backtest during the week. It's better for me to backtest on the weekends. But like that time, now I'm going to get back a little bit. And that's time is currency. And that's how you guys got to look at it. It's also a game. So is money. Money's a game. How can you get your money or someone else's money to transfer into your pockets? And that's what trading is. There's somebody on the other side of your trade trying to take your money. So yeah, gold dropped over here. So like I said, not gonna lie, a little rusty on gold, but over here, trying to see how I would have taken this.
Gold is having trouble.
What was that?
Down. I said gold is having a trouble breaking down.
Yeah.
I see the kind of some critical level on the left. I don't know if that's the same you marked.
Yep. Yeah, this support over here.
Just ignoring the wick that happened on the left.
You're saying right here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
just
I'm
about that
looking.
way.
This was my target the whole session, right? We were coming down. I took that sell earlier before, managed risk well, but at the same time, like this has always been my target over here, especially with this right over here. Like, does that not look like we're going to be coming right back down to this level? But during pre-New York, we like to grab liquidity. Keep that in mind. Write that down in your trading AAR. We like to grab liquidity in pre-New York before we continue down and continue that move. Did it twice in a row, 2 days in a row. Let's see. So like this is where you can write that down in your trading AR that price acts to come back up and grab liquidity right over here. That's where you can start to capitalize on that. Where we're very bearish, we react to this area, we come up, grab liquidity over here. This candle closes with no top wick. We get this candle passing the high of it and then closing bearish, lower high, right? Passing the flipping bearish, passing the low over here. And you could start capitalizing up here and take this down. I wasn't too comfortable doing that first, just because this was the 15-minute, but also because I'm just rusty with gold. Like I'm very in tune with GJ right now. Gold, I need this week to kind of get back into it because this is the first time I've been trading it, and I would say a month. Like if you look at the higher time frames over here, you guys know we trade every day. Dude, I've been staying out of this shit. Look at all this. Just all sideways price action. Then finally we gain this support over here, but it's just so choppy. It's a mess. But now that we start coming up into this area, we finally break 1830, which is what I was waiting for a while, and we get this clean move up. Now you start getting some cleaner price action up here, right? And then we come back into the range, get some nice clean price action here just because of the fundamentals. I have so many of these. So now I'm back in the gold. Now I just got to get used to it again. This is something I would have taken though, 100%. After reacting to 1812 up here, holding this resistance, previous support over here, previous resistance to the left. I'm sure you could go back even farther. Taking this as this candle closed. This is how you use dynamic risk, guys. I think Carlos was a little confused about this last time we talked, right? I think I cleared it up though. But dynamic risk on this trade, the first one is right after that candle closes. Right after the bearish candle closes. Right here. Stop loss above here. Take profit down here. Second one that you could have taken is on this wick. As this wick is coming up, it came up already. Now we're starting to flip bearish a little bit. It's another entry that you could enter with the same stop loss. And guess what? One more. 3 entries as we pass the low of this candle, same stop loss. And right there, you would have had, that's 180. So you would have had at least 300-400 pips right here, from this one move, all throughout London and New York and pre-New York. And that's where the journaling comes in. Yeah, I'm partially getting a little FOMO here just because I'm rusty with gold. And I would have liked to take this somewhere up here. And this is where you drop down to the lower time frames and see how like price is reacting in these levels. So we ended up using this 200 EMA on the 100 or the 1 minute time frame as a resistance over here. Lower highs, right? See that bearish pressure. Like it's not like we're creating this support over here and we're starting to break. You know, we broke some of these highs, but we're failing to break some of these highs up here near resistance. So we're not coming near resistance over here. We're just kind of rejecting this level and continuing down. You know, this, you know why I'm kicking myself right now? Because I was a little too conservative on this. Where I set the stop loss exactly where it needed to be to continue this move, and I ended up closing the full thing up here. I put my stop loss right above this bullish wick. So again, you learn from that, you write it down, and you take that into the next day. That's how you get better every single day.
We take a look at GJ.
Yep. There you go. GJ's breaking up. We're getting some volume over here. 30-minute. We're still below that resistance over here. We got about 3 minutes left for the 15 minutes to close. We'll see if it closes above. Let's plan something out if we have anything over here. Got to keep in mind that level that we're at too. That's that previous resistance. Hmm. 'Also, gold is rejecting this level right now that we've been pointing at. All right, this is good. 2 minutes left. Get that close above. Depending on the setup that we get over here, this could be my second trade of the day, and then I'm done. But I'm not 100. Like, this is something I'd be lowering my risk on a little bit. Japanese yen kind of gap down. One minute left. All right, 15-minute candle closed at this area. Now, just be aware of that fake out. Anybody getting enthused at all, or still just no?
I'm getting enthused.
Okay. Well, let's see what we get over here. So you could possibly take this with this, 8 o'clock volume. Once price creates a bottom wick on the 15-minute and passes the high of that candle right over there. Just be aware of this area. Once we start getting into there, you got to see how many pips we have. We only have 10 pips right up to this level. You do have the clean move. We could very well continue through. Might take a second entry if it breaks the high. Didn't close above, but it's strong bullish close. That's what I'm thinking too. That's the only reason why I'm looking at this, especially the 30-minute. All right, nice. It is a nice 30-minute, but again, 30-minute has rejected this level multiple times. So logically, you'd want candles to close above that level on the 30-minute. 15 minutes a little bit weaker, but we did close a little bit higher, which is good. But the amount of times I've seen like a weak bullish candle right over here on the 15-minute, and then price just drops from there, I wouldn't be able to count on my hands. I'm glad you guys are slowly starting to catch on to the fact that there are times to trade and times not to trade, and that's where your judgment needs to come in, and it needs to get stronger over the course of time.
I was just reading the rules on the prop firm that I'm in, and I guess since I ended it in profit, I get a free retry.
Oh, there you go. So are you break even right now? I think you were saying.
Yeah, after my twin trade I was telling you about, one of them made me half the profit I needed. The other one that got canceled didn't, so I ended in a little bit of profit.
So you're positive now.
Yeah.
Good shit. Just stay there and retry it.
Yep.
Hard rejection on gold. So that's that move of pre-New York right there. Right over here. From 7:30 to 8. Like I said, we get that good volume around that time. Now we get some good volume in different pockets of New York Open, stuff like that, but this is a nice move from 7:30 to 8. So Jane, were you able to talk to your buddy about those issues?
I haven't yet.
Okay. Let's see. Got a nice showing today. Nobody's sleeping in, huh? Yeah, man. Trading is that one business where it's not guaranteed that you make money every single day. You got to be okay with that. You can be a successful trader, making money one time a month, taking 1 or 2 trades a month, and be successful. And eventually, you could start to get to that point too. Like I always say, I think the next level up for a scalper is swing trading and getting used to stomaching those trades and being cool with it. The next level as a swing trader is learning how to scalp. Right. So eventually at some point you could start swing trading. And then when you're making like millions, we're talking really big money. Actually, it doesn't even have to be that big money. Like you could get to that point where you're only taking a couple trades a month and being very selective. Like I don't know about you guys, but the way I look at it as like I'm always looking to very successful traders or anybody in business and trying to see what they're doing and see what their demeanor's like, see what, how they handle situations, stuff like that. And to me, when I think of a successful trader, I'm thinking of a very calm person, an older person, kind of sitting at a computer and being very selective and planning their trades out for the month. And they're only taking these certain trades and they're only taking a couple trades a month. Like I said, when I think of somebody that, most people lose, so 95% of the market, I think of those people as the ones that are trying to take these quick little scalps on the 5 minute, the 1 minute, and playing the buys, playing the sells. You're all over the place. You have no idea what you're doing. That's how I look at an inexperienced trader. But looking at like an experienced elder statesman kind of a trader, that's how I look at them. So I'm very selective over the trades I take now. I'm no longer, just taking quick little jabs at the market, hoping and praying that something's going to happen. Now, you guys have seen me be very selective over the past couple of weeks. Unfortunately, there hasn't been much action in the market. But when there is, you'll see me taking, some solid trades. But when it comes to a market like this, it's unattractive. Gold's just playing right off of yesterday. I kind of like how that 1 minute over here closed below that support. Price is just tanking. This is the 5 minute over here. Yeah, see, I should have stayed in this trade from up here. Anybody in gold right now?
Sound like me.
What's up?
You sounded just like me now.
What do you mean? Well, with the
I
phone
wish I stayed in this one.
Yeah. Well, I took it. I just got out too early.
I am in gold. I couldn't resist.
Yeah.
Me too.
I closed. I'm okay. I closed everything on gold.
What would you enter that on, Stipe?
Since let me just recalculate the time zone. Oh, when the 8 a.m. candle opened, it went straight down.
The 8 a.m. candle?
Yeah.
Oh, the 1 hour?
Yeah. And I expected it to come all the way back to create some kind of wick, because it was kind of at the resistance. I'll send you a chart, because I saw a trend line underneath the lows at the same place where you marked the zone we were speaking about, where the price rejected. Yeah, that one. That was also a crossing of the trend line on the higher time frame. So okay. I expected it to bounce back. Yeah.
Let's get
if you connect that low from the yesterday.
That low from yesterday, right here?
Just a second. No, zoom in, zoom back in.
Oh,
no,
are you talking about right here?
You went too far away.
Did I?
Yeah,
That was it?
just zoom in from on the chart on that bearish. Yeah. So this thing here, sorry, this low here, and this low here created. So it was kind of trend line 30 minutes. Exactly was confluence with this one. So if you draw a trend line, this is a mess. So let's kind of do it this way. So let's say this is a trend line.
Okay.
It aligned exactly with the zone you marked. So I expected it to bounce back, and I was looking at 15 minutes. On 15 minutes, the current candle went above, created upper wick, kind of a fake out, which didn't make any sense to make a fake out at that zone. And when it started going down, I entered in the flip with the stops
Okay.
above the current
I
15.
think that was a good play, that flip right there.
Yeah.
I like the way, like, capitalizing on the volume as this candle created a stop wick and passed the low. That's good. And the best part is, dude, you entered that on the 1 hour.
It was a mix of everything. Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, obviously you're analyzing the lower time frames too, but this is entered based on the 1 hour.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's my dog's bugging out. Enter that on the 1 hour, just like your rules say. Hold on 1 second. Right. DJ's still a mess. I could go with this tanking.
Can I get a quick breakdown of GJ? I'm currently dropping my daughter to school, so I'm not in front of my charts. But I
Yeah.
did enter the sell on GJ once it made its previous high.
So you entered right up here?
I entered somewhere around there. I don't know. I can't see my charts to tell you
Okay.
exactly where I entered, but it was at the high. I entered.
Okay. And what was your reasoning for that sell?
The Elliott wave theory.
Okay. So yeah, that's something that we're gonna have to go over. I know what you're talking about. It's probably this range right here. Right here.
Yes.
And price kind of like bouncing off. This is what was this, like the 5th hit or something like that?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. So again, like I said, like everything is going to get much more clear for both of us as well. Like from that mentorship standpoint, once we hop on that second Zoom, so I could really get to know like the way you traded previously, or trade right now, but right now, again, like you're going to start to realize that it's like, I don't know if this is the place that you want to use the Elliott wave. Does that make sense?
Understood.
Like it's a little bit.
Where did you learn Elliott wave?
I have a couple of videos. I'll share it with you guys. Just leave your on Slack if you guys are interested. Just leave your email and I'll share it through. I forgot what program that is, but I'll share it with you guys so you guys have access to it.
Cool. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
But yeah, like I said, I don't know if this is the range that you want to use the Elliott wave. Again, it could sound like I know how it is. Like when you guys come in here and you've had like previous mentors or something like that, and then like I start talking about that strategy, and it sounds like I have no idea what I'm talking about. I trade based on levels. It's very simple. That's all trading is. You wait for levels to break. You wait for levels to close. Are you getting the earliest entry possible? No, not all the time. Sometimes you are, but not all the time. But I'm okay with that. I don't need to grab the earliest move. I just want to hop on the train with the big players and hop along and grab that money with them instead of either fighting the market or trying to grab in too early and then all of a sudden you just get stopped out.
The important thing to remember about Elliott Wave is it's just like any other strategy where you want to be able to break it down fractally. So like if you find an Elliott Wave in that consolidation range that we're in, it's okay to find a sell there if it's in conjunction with one of the legs on a higher time frame that's supposed to be going downwards. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and those higher time frames right now are a little bullish. Right, we keep forming these higher lows over here. I see what you're doing with this though, right? Was it based on this candle?
No, it wasn't. I mean, well, that was the added confluence, of course, but it wasn't based on the candle itself.
Okay.
I can see Elliott Wave like for a short-term sell coming in conjunction with all of those rejection wicks because that is clearly a resistance level. But as you can see, just from his screen, you got from the macro perspective, you have the 1, 2, 3 wave coming down into the 4, and now it's heading up to possibly go to the 5 wave. So let me just put my 1, 2, 3, 4, or I guess you could have saw it as this is the 1, this is the 2, this is the 3, this is the 4, and so we don't know if it wants to come create its 5 leg, but you're seeing a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here to come to this resistance or whatever for the drop, which I'm not saying you're wrong. You just have to think about that.
Okay, thank you.
Jane, you started off with Elliott Waves, stuff like that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, makes sense.
I think it's such an awesome strategy. It's just so confusing to me.
So there's a lot that goes behind it. There's so many different strategies that fascinates me. Like that's why I like listening to Trading Nut, and when different traders come on there, it's good to listen to other people's strategies, right? But do not implement their strategies right away. If what you want to do is you want to make sure instead of being in the mindset where you want to copy this exact strategy and you want to trade exactly the way they are, instead of doing that, think about always forming your own strategy, your own business plan. This is your own, you want to be original, your own business plan, but you're taking little pieces from different people. You take something, a little bit, something from me. You take a little something from Raquel. You take a little something from Q Banks. You take something from, any of these other people, right? Like, one of Jaden's previous trading strategies is an Elliott Wave, and he could give you a little, tidbits on it, right? And you take a little piece of that and implement that into your trading plan. But you want that original trading plan that makes sense to you. Starting to think we may be getting. Let's keep looking at GJ over here. I think we may have a move. This price is starting to come above. If you look at the 30-minute, the 30-minute kind of closed above these wicks, these candle bodies over here. This 30-minute candle is forming its bottom wick and starting to pass up here. 15-minute, we had this weak bearish candle right over here. We had this wick to fill. This candle created its bottom wick, passing the high of that candle. And we could be continuing right back up. But how many pips do we have to this area? Got about 12 pips. And then we could very well continue through that. But could we be getting something? Let's keep looking at the different time frames. See, the daily candle is still bearish. And we passed the high of that candle too. Could we be creating that bottom wick and staying in this area? Or are we retesting this previous support to continue down? See how there's no clear main bias? You want to be trading when there's a clear main bias and then you have your secondary bias. This one, it's like you have two secondary biases because you don't know where price is going to go on the daily. The 4 hour, still no clear direction, right? Especially after this bearish candle over here. Like if this bearish candle didn't happen, maybe we could be continuing right back up to this resistance. 154, 500. But I just don't want to be faked out over here. Looks like the 15-minute is starting to reject.
I'm so upset. I didn't stick to my original analysis, which I rarely ever do.
So what do you think led you to that?
I was just in a rush. I was trying to get my daughter ready, and I just jumped in the trade because I didn't want to miss the drop. So I just put in the order. So because initially I said that I was going to wait for it to. I don't remember the ranges, but if you go back to GJ and you see your next level of resistance
Right here?
Yeah, I said that price was going to go there. It was going to go in between, somewhere in between the two.
Okay.
And I was going to execute then. And I don't know why I executed so early. I'm so pissed.
So, T, are you normally at your desk when you're trading?
For the most part, yeah.
Okay. So this may take a week or two to implement before it becomes automatic and you don't need this. But if you have like a little Post-it note, just write in all capitals and in bold letters, emotional with like red ink or with like black or green ink, logical, all capital bold letters. So you want to have emotional or logical. You're constantly always asking yourself before you take a trade, are you starting to feel your heartbeat raise a little bit? Are you starting to get nervous? Like, is this something that maybe you shouldn't be in? Maybe you should be waiting for something. Or is it something where it's like, okay, I've seen this setup before. I'm being patient, waiting for candles to close or waiting for my setup for an impulse entry. And this is a very logical decision where I know 95% of the time or 90% of the time, 80% of the time, this trade's going to play out. That's where you want to be when you're entering a trade. Anything other than that, you're live back testing it. You're journaling the setup. That makes sense?
Yeah, you're so right. Thank you.
Of course. So yeah, you're making sure there's no emotional decisions, any of you. And then also a great practice to implement into your trading is at the end of your session, always asking yourself, am I proud of the way I traded today? Am I proud of the decisions that I made today? Was I a little too impatient? Did I take a trade that was not my setup that I know I shouldn't have been taking? Stuff like that. Or maybe I was very selective today, right? I stayed composed. I stayed confident in what I do. I listened to myself. I didn't make any emotional decisions. Everything was logical, right? Those are the kind of days that you want to be having and writing in your AAR. Not the constantly, I over traded again. I over risked again. Here we go again. We're doing the same thing all over again. That's making the same mistake twice or, multiple times. That's where you don't want to be. That's where most people are. And I don't want any of you guys to be.
One tip I could give her is if you're going to counter trend and you have to go drop your kids off, then at least make your take profit at the bottom of the range and your stop loss right at the top, so it's very minimal risk. If you're going with the trend though on the higher time frames, it gives you more peace of mind when you're in drawdown, I guess, when you can't really be at your charts.
So true.
Good point.
Thank you.
So Gary sent a chart over here, possible for gold. He's saying 4 hour point of interest, I guess, POI. Looking for a lower time frame rejection in this area. So he's looking for a rejection in this area to possibly continue right back up and retest these highs. Fundamentally, I could see that, but also I can't because of this Powell appointment. So now, like, we get that move from that, bringing price all the way back down. Could this be oversold? Absolutely. Right. Just because of the fear of inflation and all that stuff, we could be finding some kind of a support soon and continuing right back up. But also, forget that.
Looks like Gary trades like I do.
Yeah, a little bit. A lot of intricate things going on as far as like analysis. You're right from a technical standpoint. Yeah. That's exactly what Stipe, this is exactly what I was just zooming out to look for. You have this obviously the weekly bullish trend over here, but I was saying like, we could be getting something like right here.
Yeah.
And this was that new high that we created. Now we're coming right back down, hold the support and continue right back up. I can see it. And this is all like sentiment. Like we don't know what Powell's going to do, right? This is all just the idea that Powell is going to be steady in the market, right? We're not going to have any big surprises like somebody else coming in as Fred Chair, like Brainerd or any of these other people. We have some sense of I don't want to say security, but sense of I don't know, understanding of what he's going to probably be doing. He's going to stick to what he said he's going to be doing. Say what you will about Powell. We all have plenty of things to say about him and his policy stuff like that. But I do think it's an ultimate good thing that he's staying in. Like I was actually surprised that Biden kept him. I thought he was going to add some dovish person in there that he can control or that administration can control to do whatever they want and print more money. But he kept Powell in there, who's very steady, very central in his ideas. So it brought a lot more calm to the market instead of uncertainty, which would have sent gold flying. So now that move could be coming to an end, right? We're almost done with that. Also, tomorrow's Wednesday, which is basically like Friday, but with Wednesday volume, because Thursday and Friday, no one's trading. So
next week will be, I think, of very high importance, because if we look at the monthly candle on gold, it completely retraced back and it's currently at entry point.
100%. That's a hard rejection.
Yeah. If we break that trend line that we were just talking about, then we could at least go back down till the support and the monthly.
Yeah.
So the low of the previous month.
You're saying like 1750 something right down here? Revisit this area?
Yeah, 50, 60.
Which is also previous candle body highs.
Yeah. I don't think that gold will try to retest the highs again, looking on the monthly time frame.
Yeah, it really depends on what happens.
Yeah, but sorry.
No, you're good. Like multiple things have to happen fundamentally for us to continue right back up, creating new highs.
Yeah.
They also, like, let's say they increase interest rates and then all of a sudden the stock market crashes, right? Or they start tapering, the stock market crashes because we are in a bubble. So that could send gold flying, creating, even, historical highs coming right back up. Because I think once our market crashes right now, the state that it's in, it's going to be pretty bad. I mean, they're keeping it propped up right now, but the way our market is right now, it's all a bubble. And the way our economy is, we're in stagflation right now, where you have inflation with no growth. The only, there's no growth, right? It's all like a false economy. The fact that we're near all-time highs on the Dow and stuff like that. It's whenever you get a crash, whenever you get a recession, anything like that, you always see that major bullish market right before it. Think of 2007, 2006. So With that said, I'm gonna let you guys go. If you take a look at GJ, we didn't get what I was looking for, where you get that candle starting to pass the high of this candle with that hard rejection over here. You normally, if we get that close above that area, maybe we could have taken this out, but we didn't. We stayed in this range over here. So just be aware of this. I had a feeling in the beginning of the session that we were going to get something like this, especially because the higher time frame we're ranging as well. And we've been saying that. So with that said, guys, have a great productive day. Stick to your daily musts, right? If you guys aren't implementing those and you want some help with it, let me know. But super important for you guys to see any success where you're having the same not the same exact, but a very similar day every single day, and you're sticking to what you say you're going to do. And if you have a hectic schedule like myself, it may be a little bit harder, but you suck that up. You don't give yourself excuses and you keep going. But with that said, guys, remember tomorrow morning we're going to be with Sharma, 6:45 Eastern Standard Time, trading live with her, and that'll be our last session of the week. And we'll head into next week. And as Stipe was talking about next week, besides that, right, besides some of that volume, what I also want you guys to focus on is the fact that you guys have about a month from that point, from the beginning of next week up until around December 21st, 22nd. Let's actually look at the days over here. December 25th is a Friday. So maybe you stop trading around Wednesday of that week. So Wednesday is going to be it's right around a month from now. So you take about a week out of there because of Thanksgiving, but right up from that point, from next week up until the 22nd of December, I want you guys to put yourself through some sort of boot camp and get the most out of yourself. Get the most out of your fitness, get the most out of your trading, where you're back testing an hour a day if you can. You're journaling all your trades. You're participating. You're coming to the lives, trading with us, adding your analysis, stuff like that. Just put yourself in that boot camp so that you feel like you earn that break during the winter break. And then we go into next year guns blazing because we're confident. We're composed in our trading strategy. A lot of you guys are starting to come into your trading strategy. We're starting to really understand it and catch on and get more and more confident with it. Just take some work. So with that said, guys, have a great day. If you have any questions, let me know. And I will see you later. I'll be posting the Eastern session tonight. And if you have any questions, let me know.
Okay, thank you.
All right, guys.
All right.
See you later, man.
Guys.
See you tomorrow.
All right, guys.
Take it easy,
Yes.
boys.
My pleasure. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning.
Bye bye.
Yep.
Peace.